Introduction. Have you ever wondered why some people seem unfazed no matter what life throws at them? Why in the middle of chaos they stay calm, focused, and almost unshakable? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's something deeper, something ancient. For centuries, some of the world's greatest leaders, thinkers, and warriors have turned to a philosophy that teaches resilience, clarity, and unbreakable inner strength. A philosophy that doesn't promise comfort, but greatness. That philosophy is Stoicism, but Stoicism isn't just old texts and wise quotes. It's a way of life. It's the reason Marcus Aurelius could rule an empire while fighting battles both outside and within. It's why Epictetus, once a slave, became one of the most powerful voices in philosophy, and it's why modern-day athletes, CEOs, artists, and everyday people are rediscovering these ancient truths today. This video isn't just another motivational list. It's a journey, a deep dive into 7 timeless Stoic lessons that can reshape the way you think, act, and live. Lessons that will challenge you, ground you, and ultimately push you toward the greatness that's already within you. Whether you're struggling with self-doubt, feeling stuck, or just searching for clarity in a noisy world, these lessons are your toolkit. This isn't about being perfect. It's about becoming strong enough to handle anything and wise enough to stay true to yourself along the way. Let's explore the 7 Stoic lessons that will prepare you, guide you, and remind you that you were never meant to be average. You were destined for greatness. 1. Control what you can, accept what you can't. Imagine you're sailing across a vast sea. The sky suddenly darkens, the waves rise, and a storm crashes into your ship. The winds howl, the crew panics, everything feels out of control. Now imagine, at the helm stands a calm figure. Stoic. Unshaken, focused. This isn't a fantasy. This was the mindset of Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, philosopher, and one of the greatest Stoic thinkers. While most of us would be consumed by fear or frustration, Marcus focused only on what he could control: his thoughts, his decisions, his actions. The Stoics believed the foundation of a powerful life begins with one essential truth. There are things within your control, and things that never will be. You can't control how others act, you can't control the economy, the weather, or random misfortunes, but you can control how you respond. You have full authority over your attitude, your effort, your perspective, and your principles. That's where your power lives. When you focus your energy on what you can control, you become grounded, even in chaos. But when you obsess over what you can't, you become reactive, anxious, and weak. It's like trying to grab water with your hands. The tighter you grip, the more you lose. But when you release the need to control everything, clarity flows in. Epictetus, another Stoic master, put it best: make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. This mindset doesn't make you passive, it makes you powerful. It frees you from wasting energy on the uncontrollable and sharpens your focus on what truly matters: your choices. Next time life hits hard, ask yourself one simple question. Is this within my control? If the answer is yes, act. If not, let it go. Master this lesson and you won't just survive the storms. You'll rise above them. 2. Amor Fati, love your fate. Most people go through life wishing things were different. If only I had started earlier. If only they hadn't left, if only that hadn't happened to me. But the Stoics believed that greatness begins when you stop resisting your life and start embracing it, fully, fiercely, even the parts that hurt. Amor Fati, a Latin phrase meaning love of fate, is the radical Stoic idea that you shouldn't just accept what happens to you, you should love it. It's easy to love the good moments, the victories, the praise, the joy. But Amor Fati calls you to love the heartbreak, the setbacks, the delays. Not because they're fun, but because they shape you. Picture this. A blacksmith pulls a sword from the fire. The flames have burned away impurities. The blows of the hammer have given it form. Without the heat and pressure, It would never become strong enough to be wielded. Now apply that to your life. That failure, it forged your resilience. That breakup, it taught you self-worth. That rejection, it redirected you to something better. Friedrich Nietzsche, who later popularized the term, said, "My formula for greatness in a human being is Amor Fati, that one wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity." It's not about becoming numb, it's about becoming unstoppable, because once you learn to love everything life gives you, even the pain, you become invincible. No experience is wasted. Every moment becomes part of your masterpiece. Think of your life like a book. You don't tear out the pages with conflict. You don't skip the parts where the hero struggles. Why? Because those are the chapters that make the ending meaningful. So next time you face disappointment, try something different. Don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? How is this shaping me? Can I love this too? That's Amor Fati. That's Stoic power. 3. Practice voluntary discomfort. We live in a world obsessed with comfort. Faster food, softer beds, easier everything. But comfort, unchecked, can quietly become a trap. The Stoics knew this. That's why one of their most powerful teachings was this: deliberately seek discomfort. Yes, you heard that right. Choose hardship. On purpose. It sounds strange until you hear the story of Seneca. Seneca was one of the wealthiest and most influential men in ancient Rome. He lived in luxury, but every month he would sleep on the floor, wear rough clothes, and eat the simplest, cheapest food available. Why? To remind himself that he could survive without all the extras, to train his mind to stay strong, even when life stripped everything away. He wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, and ask yourself, is this the condition I feared?" This practice wasn't about suffering for its own sake, it was about preparation. When you train your body and mind to handle discomfort willingly, you strip fear of its power. You become resilient, adaptable, calm under pressure, because you've already faced difficulty and chosen it. Think about it. Skipping a meal teaches you gratitude. A cold shower builds discipline. Turning off your phone forces presence. Waking up early strengthens your will. These small acts of voluntary discomfort sharpen you for real adversity. When life hits hard, and it will, you won't be shaken. You'll be ready. The Stoics believed you should never be so soft that life's smallest shake rattles you. In a world that avoids pain at all costs, choosing discomfort is rebellion. And every time you do it, you're building something rare, mental armor. So try this. Once a week, step outside your comfort zone. Walk instead of drive. Fast for a few hours. Sleep without a pillow. Speak up when it scares you. Discomfort isn't the enemy. It's the forge where strength is made. 4. Memento mori. Remember, you must die. At first glance, this lesson sounds grim. Memento mori. Remember, you must die. But to the Stoics, it wasn't about fear. It was about freedom. Death, they believed, isn't the enemy. It's the reminder. The mirror. The wake-up call we all need. Imagine waking up every day with a quiet voice in your mind saying, "This could be your last." Not to scare you, but to awaken you. Would you scroll mindlessly through your phone? Hold grudges? Delay your dreams, or would you finally start living? The Stoics urged us to keep death in view, not morbidly, but meaningfully. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." It wasn't about dwelling in darkness. It was about clarity. When you remember life is short, everything changes. Suddenly you say, "I love you," more. You waste less time on trivial arguments. You chase your goals instead of waiting for someday, because someday isn't promised. Think of death not as a wall at the end of the road, but as the fuel behind your fire. The samurai used to meditate on death daily, not to become depressed, but to sharpen their focus, to live with urgency. And so did the Stoics. They would carry small tokens, like skulls, rings, or coins, with memento mori etched into them, not to glorify death, but to honor life. And here's the paradox: the more you remember you will die, the more fully you live. You stop pretending time is infinite. You stop wasting your potential. You start showing up for your life completely. So ask yourself, if today was your last, would you be proud of how you lived it? Would you chase meaning or comfort? Would you scroll or speak from the heart? Memento mori is not about dying, it's about not waiting to live. 5. Be ruthlessly present. Have you ever driven somewhere and realized you don't remember a single moment of the trip? Or sat in a conversation, nodding along, while your mind wandered to a dozen other places? That's the illusion of life. We think we're living it, but most of the time we're somewhere else. The Stoics saw this problem over 2,000 years ago. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, who had more distractions than any of us could imagine, still wrote in his journal, "Confine yourself to the present." Why? Because the present moment is the only place where life actually happens. The past? Gone. You can't touch it. The future? Not here yet. You can't live in it. But this moment, this breath, this heartbeat is real. It's yours. Yet we flee from it constantly. We replay past mistakes. We rehearse future conversations. We worry about things that might never happen. And in doing so, we miss life itself. Seneca warned about this too. He said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Presence is power. When you're fully in the moment, you're focused, clear, calm. You're not dragged down by what was, or anxious about what might be. Even in pain, the present can be bearable, but it's the thought of endless pain or the memory of past suffering that truly breaks us. So how do you become ruthlessly present? Start small. When you eat, just eat. No phone, no rush. When someone talks, really listen. When you breathe, feel it. When your mind drifts, gently pull it back, over and over again. This isn't a one-time thing, it's a daily discipline, a mental workout. But over time, it brings a kind of peace that nothing else can, because presence is where your life is, and every moment you miss, you never get back. So slow down, show up, pay attention, be where your feet are. That's where greatness begins. 6. Lead with virtue, not ego. In a world obsessed with image, followers, fame, wealth, it's easy to think success is about being seen, being admired, being somebody. But the Stoics knew something deeper. True greatness isn't loud, it's not showy. It's rooted in virtue, not ego. To the Stoics, virtue was everything, not just a nice word, but a way of life. They defined it with 4 pillars: wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. If you lived by those, you were successful, no matter how the world saw you. Ego, on the other hand, is a trap. It whispers, "You're better than them." It pushes you to win at all costs, to be praised, to be remembered. But ego is hollow. It feeds on validation, and it's never full. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history, constantly reminded himself, "Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about others. It is not the actions of others which trouble us, but our own judgments of them." Despite being emperor, he wrote daily to stay humble, to keep his ego in check, because he knew power without virtue is dangerous. Epictetus, born a slave, became one of Stoicism's greatest teachers. He didn't chase fame or fortune, he chased excellence of character. He said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." That's the Stoic path, not to seem good, but to be good. In a noisy world, this lesson is radical, because when you lead with virtue, you don't need to win arguments, you act with wisdom. You don't seek revenge, you choose justice. You don't chase every craving, you practice self-control. You don't run from fear, you face it with courage. And the amazing part, when you lead with virtue, respect follows naturally, not because you demand it, but because you earn it. So ask yourself, not how can I be admired, but how can I be better? How can I serve? What would the virtuous version of me do right now? Because legacy isn't built on ego, it's built on character. 7. Turn the obstacle into the way. What if I told you that the thing standing in your way, the failure, the setback, the pain, isn't blocking your path? It is your path? That's not a motivational slogan. That's a core Stoic belief. The obstacle is not the enemy, it's the teacher. Marcus Aurelius wrote it plainly. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. That's not just poetry, it's a mindset shift, a total transformation in how you see problems. And most people hit a wall and say, well, why is this happening to me? A Stoic hits the same wall and says, good, now I have something to overcome. This is the mentality that forged warriors, leaders, and legends. When life says no, the Stoic says, then I will find another way, or I will make one. Let's take an example. A young man is rejected from his dream job. Most would quit or spiral, but he uses it to fuel his growth. He studies harder, sharpens his skills, builds something of his own. Years later, he doesn't just work at that company, he builds a better one. That's turning the obstacle into the way. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison. He used it to master his emotions, to prepare for leadership. When he walked free, he wasn't broken, he was ready. You don't choose your obstacles, but you do choose your response. Every setback contains a seed, a hidden chance to become stronger, smarter, more resilient. Don't wait for smooth roads. Learn to drive through storms. Lost the job? Build your own path. Heartbroken? Grow deeper in self-understanding. Facing fear? Step forward anyway. The Stoics weren't superhuman, they were just stubborn in one thing. They refused to be stopped. So when life hits hard, and it will, remember this, the obstacle in your path is your path. Don't go around it, go through it, grow through it, because everything you need is on the other side of resistance. Conclusion. In a world that constantly urges us to seek comfort, avoid hardship, and chase easy success, the Stoics offer a radically different path, a path to true greatness. The lessons we've explored aren't just philosophical concepts, they are timeless tools for living a life of purpose, resilience, and strength. From mastering your mind and controlling only what you can, to embracing challenges as opportunities, Stoicism teaches us how to navigate the chaos of life with clarity and calm. The 7 Stoic lessons: control what you can, accept what you can't, Amor Fati, practice, voluntary discomfort, memento mori, be ruthlessly present, lead with virtue, not ego, and turn the obstacle into the way, are not just principles to read about. They are practices to live by. They remind us that greatness isn't about avoiding hardship or collecting accolades, but about how we respond to the obstacles we face and how we live each day with integrity and intention. By applying these lessons, you can transform your life from one of reaction and struggle into one of proactive strength and fulfillment. You will learn to face pain, embrace challenges, and live with an unwavering sense of purpose. Greatness isn't a destination, it's a journey, and the Stoics show us that we are already equipped with everything we need to begin that journey right now. So remember, you are destined for greatness. The path is not easy, but it is yours to walk, and the lessons of the Stoics will guide you every step of the way. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.